Hello there. I'm continuing my analysis of over the board Rabac tournament. So now I'm in the round 4, and you can see I'm facing now again stronger opponent, 1900 plus, much younger opponent. He's 20 something, and you can see the contrast in this kind of tournaments. So the previous round I played against 1100. Now I'm playing 1900. So this is how it goes with big Swiss tournaments. Okay. Just as an introduction to this game, I had the advantage in the beginning for a long time, then I gave away because I forgot to to do one basic check, which always I have to do, and then I got in a little bit worse position, but I thought it was completely lost position, so my evaluation was wrong, and you'll see why when I show you the game. Okay, so I was white, I opened with e4, and he went for Caro-Kann defense, so he played the c6. I have some kind of repertoire, the usual way to play. d4, immediately grabbing the center, he played d5, e takes d5, so I go for the exchange, c takes d5, and now bishop d3. Bishop d3 is stopping this. By the way, this is the system, the way of playing which Bobby Fischer used to play a lot. So yeah, so bishop here, he develops the knight, and now the idea is to play h3 because I want to develop my knight here and I don't want to have this pin. So this is a little bit unorthodox to play h3 so early in the game, but it's playable. It's a legitimate line. So he developed his knight, and now attack hitting my pawn, and I went to c3. So this could lead to Carlsbad pawn structure, very likely. So he played e6. Yeah, we are now in the Carlsbad structure, and now yeah, I want to develop my knight, but since he played e6 now, he probably wants to develop his bishop here on d6. So I play a prophylactic move. I develop first bishop. So although the principle says develop knights before bishops, here it's justified to step from this rule for the reason I just said. So you need to be flexible. I mean, knight will come here sooner or later, and this kind knight could come here, or it could go here, depending on what black will do. He played bishop e7 here, wanted to castle. It's okay, just normal developing move. I'm developing my knight, he castles, I castle, so everything is normal, and now he plays a6. So, I mean, here in this position, if you look as black, he doesn't have much choice here. He doesn't have many good moves. This bishop cannot go far. You know, this pawn structure is pretty fixed. I mean, it's not in anybody's interest to go and break the structure. So he doesn't have many good moves, so he tries the expansion on the queen side. I guess he was planning to play b5, and then maybe he can fianchetto the bishop and maybe do even some kind of minority attack here, targeting this c pawn. So I decided to stop all this and played a4. And here I'll jump with the knight e4, and this knight looks dangerous, but in fact it's not. This is the mistake I made. One of the mistakes is that I get kind of panic when the knight comes here. The correct strategy against this knight is just to be aware of the squares he's hitting and just make sure that he cannot use any of the squares, and just be patient, and I guess he'll have to bring the knight back if you don't give him any play. Okay, I continue my development, knight b to d2, hitting the knight, controlling the knight, and also developing. And he played now f5. This is Pillsbury idea to certify the knight with the d and f pawns. So now if I take, I mean, I cannot take with the knight because he'll take with the pawn and fork my pieces, or I can give up the bishop, but again, the pawn is here, hitting my knight, and so on. So this knight is now pretty stable, and I should be fine with this, which I was not. If you analyze this move, one of the questions you have to ask yourself always is what weaknesses does it create? So you can see immediately it creates a hole here.
So this pawn used to control these two squares. Now it doesn't anymore. This pawn is advanced, this pawn is advanced, so this is a hole, and this is a perfect spot for any of my pieces, knight or bishop, preferably knight. So I jump immediately here with knight to e4. I mean, if he takes, I will take with the piece, and I will have this for my piece. I can bring another knight and so forth. So everything is fine here. Here he continued his development by playing bishop d7, and you can see that this bishop is not a happy bishop. So he's blocked by his light square pawns. He cannot even fianchetto. So yeah, this is an unfortunate move, but there is nothing much better he can do. One could be tempted to say, oh yeah, I will take this bishop because then I will win the bishop pair, but it will be strategically a wrong move because this bishop is so sad that, I mean, this knight is much stronger. So I brought my another knight closer to the game, so to f3 now. If he takes, I can replace it immediately with my knight. He played bishop e8, so this is called, what's his name, I think Piketty idea, or something. It has some strange name, so this maneuver with the bishop. One way of trying to solve the problem of the light square bishop. And so now he can maybe activate this bishop here. So I was thinking how to stop him from activating the bishop here and pinning, and I came up with a way. I thought, okay, I can maybe take this knight, and then I can bring my another knight to e5, and then the queen will cover h5. So this was my rationale, just playing against this bad bishop. So I took the knight. Okay, he took the knight with the bishop, and again you can see that yeah, this bishop is no better here or here or here or here. I mean, it's a bad bishop wherever he puts it, and this is very important. I was aware of this, and keep this in mind because later in the game it will become very important. So how should I play here? Yeah, I could jump immediately, but I was watching that. I mean, this bishop is. I like this bishop. It has this nice diagonal. And he can try to harass it. He can try maybe playing the pawn, or maybe coming with his bishop here, since the knight is also covering this g5 square. So I didn't want to depart from the bishop, and also this bishop is unprotected piece. So I thought that a nice improvement of the position is to play bishop to h2, and just making sure that this bishop stays on this diagonal. And this is in fact a good move. I think engine evaluates this like plus 1.3 or something. So white is better. Okay, queen to e8. He has to try something. So I guess he's activating the queen on this diagonal, and also he's hitting this pawn, which now makes both of my pieces kind of tied to this pawn. I cannot play b3 because the knight is hitting here. So I need to be careful and patient here. And now I made the biggest mistake so far in the position. This is being too annoyed with this knight. I decided it's now a good time to take this knight with the bishop. And I thought, okay, I can take this knight with the bishop, then maybe I will have some opportunities to go forward. I think I was just annoyed with this knight with no good reason. So there are plenty of other moves I could play. I could, for example, jump with knight here, which is most natural move. I could activate my rook. I mean, plenty of moves here. And there is also one thing. Which is more tournament experience wise. So my opponent is a stronger player. He's paired with me in round 4, and if you look at his tournament history, you can see that he's having a bad tournament. So he lost or drew against weaker opponents, and it's very important for him to win this game, to get 1 point, to get in the game. He's ambitious, obviously. If he's like 20 years old and 1900, he obviously has some ambitions, given that he came all the way to Rabac. So he has to play for a win. So he's the one who has to, you know, come up with the ideas and try to do something. And first of all, I'm white. I have a good position. So I should not be the one who is initiating exchanges and sudden changes in the position. So my play here would be just to slowly build up my position, to play slow moves, and this is one of the problems I have. I'm not good in playing slow moves. So playing slow moves, slowly improving the position, building the position, and wait for him to do something. He has to do something because he doesn't want to draw. So he has to be the one who is creative and who is coming up with stuff. So I should have kept this in mind, and maybe just play slow moves like bishop here, rook here, maybe another rook here, this semi-open file, knight here. So I have good moves. All these moves you can see on the screen, I think are good moves. And what moves does he have? I mean, yeah, he could kind of improve his bishop, maybe something, but he doesn't have so much good forward moves or good moves which improve his position. So this is a skill I need to acquire, to know how to wait, to know how to slowly build the position. And this was the source of all my mistakes here. So first of all, I took the knight, and now all my advantages is gone immediately. So he took the bishop. Now he has this annoying pawn, which could be dangerous and will be later in the game. So I jumped with knight here, and he played bishop to d6. And now I'm still better. I mean, I have this is now a strong outpost. He cannot chase this knight away, and you can see that this knight is protected by another piece. So if he takes the knight, I will bring another piece here, which will also have an outpost. So bishop likes outpost as well as knight. So yeah, I'm better, and again I should adopt the same strategy, just slowly building up the position. And in ideal scenario, I would exchange these dark square bishops. So if these dark square bishops were not on the board, then this knight is worth almost a rook, because it will be unmovable. You know, if you imagine that these pieces are gone, he cannot chase this knight ever. So I tried this. So I played knight to g4, thinking, okay, maybe you want to exchange. Maybe you want to exchange bishops, and then I will bring my knight back, and my knight will be a beast. But of course he understands this, and he just retreated the bishop. And well, I came back with my knight. So, and here I thought that he might repeat the position maybe, and I was a little bit tired, and not so much tired, but out of ideas. I didn't know what to do in this position. I didn't understand this position very well. I felt I don't understand the position. I don't know what to do, and I thought that maybe he wants to repeat the moves. So I offered a draw here. I asked him, do you want to draw? And he was immediately like, no. So okay, I tried. I mean, as a token of good sportsmanship, I don't offer a draw unless I think I'm better or that the position is that draw. So here I thought I was slightly better, but out of ideas, and he's a stronger player. I'm not sure what to do in the position, and I mean, if he played this, I would just go here. So it's I don't know any better than to repeat here. So this is why I offered the draw. I don't usually offer a draw in these kind of positions, but yeah, here I did. So he continued to playing. He bring up his rook to f5, and now again I got this wrong mentality that I'm the one who needs to do something, and I'm not. He's the one who should worry how to do something with the position. And if you watch my video about just thinking algorithm, one of the crucial questions you should ask yourself before you play a move is what weaknesses do you leave behind? Because in the move I just played, I just gave up all my advantage. So here I played a5, thinking that now this pawn is blocking these two pawns, and that I'm somehow advancing in the position. But the simple question I should have asked myself every time you want to make a move, so what weaknesses does the move leave behind? And the weakness it leaves behind is this b5 square. So the pawn was controlling b5 square, and now it doesn't. And this immediately equalizes the position, because if you remember, I spoke several times about how bad this bishop is. And now suddenly this bishop becomes excellent piece. So he almost immediately played bishop to b5 here. So it's an excellent piece, very active, and doing a very important job. So now it hits f1, and suddenly this guy will be a problem. So yeah, this was the move in which I gave up all my advantage, and I was completely demoralized, because I know I have to ask myself this question about weaknesses, and yet I didn't, and I felt that I gave up all my advantage here. So I was pretty demoralized here. So a5, bishop b5, and now I have to move my rook, and now this becomes very weak. Okay, he brings forth his other bishop, so you can see how suddenly his bishop pair is killing me. All of a sudden, just because of the one wrong move. So yeah, now I have to do something about these bishops and the position. So I found this move c4, which is yeah, I think the best move in the position according to engine as well. So if he takes with this pawn, I will take this pawn. If he takes yeah, he cannot take yeah, I mean he can take with the bishop, but then I can just take the bishop with the knight. He takes, and then this pawn falls. So basically he cannot take this this pawn, he has to go back. So okay, at least this bishop is a little bit neutralized. And now, since I made another mistake, you can see just in this position, like I showed you, I felt this power of this bishop pair, who is just killing me, killing my position. So I didn't want to allow this again. So after c4, bishop c6, I took the bishop, and this was a wrong choice, because yeah, he doesn't have bishop pair, but like I said, this bishop is a very bad piece, and this knight is a great piece on the outpost and so on. So I just panicked. I just didn't want him to, you know, to have this picture was in my mind, and I decided to exchange bishops, to exchange knight for a bishop. Okay, he took with the queen, and now not only that I gave up my good knight for his bad bishop, but now the queen also gets activated. So now this pawn is threatened, and I play c5, which is not the best move. I could have played maybe b3 to support, or bring the rook in, or bring the queen. But okay, I played c5. And here he doubled the rooks. So you can see now this vulnerability is hunting me. And the best move and the most logical move here would be bishop to g3. And now I'm pretty much protected. And I don't know why I didn't play this move, because I know that bishop, I mean, once you bring up the bishop to f4, g3 is natural escape square, because it gives your king a luft. So it's generally good structure to have the bishop with the pawns coordinated in this manner. And I know this pattern very well, so I don't know why I didn't play this. This would be the most logical move. Anyway, for some reason I played rook to f1, protecting with the rook. And now he slowly penetrates with the queen. So queen b5. And now you can see what's going on. Yeah, my f1 square, f1 rook is attacked 3 times, and he has this e pawn, so he can open this file. And I thought I'm almost lost, but I wasn't. I mean, engine all the time says like minus 0.4, 0.3, 0.5. Okay. Notice that he's also hitting my my pawn here. Yeah, there are several ways to play here. One way is that I can just stop all this nonsense by playing queen to a4. And now he cannot really take this pawn, because I will bring the rook
and then afterwards I will take this pawn and I will penetrate his position. So I'm threatening to penetrate. So I think here the best thing he can do is just to take the queen. I take the queen, and okay, now he doesn't have a queen. His attack is gone. I can defend this in several ways. So yeah, I saw that he wants to penetrate with the queen, so the most logical thing is to exchange the queens. And also notice that this queen is much stronger than my queen, because it's looking at my camp, and this queen doesn't do anything. So this was a best and natural move, which I missed. I saw, oh, he's attacking my pawn, so I want to defend my pawn by moving it to b3, and now the pawn is defended. Very poor, very weak move. Okay, he penetrates further with queen to b4 now. Okay, you can see now he's hitting many of my weaknesses. So all my pieces are tied up to the defense right now. I was looking for some kind of an active move. I was considering this or this, and I played bishop to e5, which is not so good move because yeah, after he plays bishop to f6, I will be forced to exchange my bishop, and because this pawn is a weakness, and I'm losing my very good bishop. So this bishop is always a good bishop. It's nicely coordinated with my pawns. It has the open diagonal. So yeah, not a good choice. Better move here would be to bring the rook, for example, on the second rank. So on a2, then I'm also defending this laterally, and something like this. Okay, so I played this bishop to e5, and for some reason he played this. He brought this rook to f7. I think he just wanted to have his rooks on the light squares, so he can be safe as far as this goes. Here I played queen to c2, which makes sense. So I'm defending laterally, and I'm also connecting my rooks, and I don't need to be afraid if he takes the rook that my queen will be on the way. So yeah, connecting rooks and defending all this, and also I'm maybe thinking about playing forward with my c pawn, and then maybe penetrate the rook, maybe have some counterplay, or penetrate with the queen, maybe have some counterplay in his camp. And well, he sees this, so he just plays queen to b5. And also this was an idea. There are some ideas even of trapping the queen, maybe. Okay, so it was just something I thought about. Okay, so he doesn't want me to advance the pawn, so he plays queen to b5, again hitting the rook, and yeah, also taking care of this square. And here I was really feeling that my position is falling apart, and that I'm completely losing. Although when I look at the engine evaluation, it's not lost at all. He has a slight advantage. So my evaluation was wrong here. And here I made a blunder, which was not so much a blunder, but yeah, I didn't see. So I played rook a to b1, thinking that okay, now I will take care of this pawn, protect this pawn, and then my queen will be free to go wherever she wants. But again, I didn't ask the same question. So every time you make a move, you need to ask yourself, what weakness do you need? Do you leave behind? Or in other words, what was this piece doing before I moved it? What was her job? So the job of this rook is to protect this pawn. So once I move my rook, it no longer protects the pawn, and this is the weakness. So this is the weakness of the last move. So he could just take the pawn. But okay, luckily for me, it's not. It will not be a good move, because even if he takes the pawn, I can advance this pawn, and then I get some counterplay. So it's not advisable for him to take it, but still, the fact remains that I didn't see that I leave this weakness behind. Okay. He didn't take the pawn, and he didn't want to give me any counterplay, but instead he went on fighting for the initiative. So he played the bishop to h4,
here, now hitting my pawn, making a tremendous pressure, and here I made a mistake. So the best move would be to play f4 here. This would be the best defense. So to play f4, he takes en passant. Then I take with the rook, we exchange some pieces. Yeah, I will end up being a pawn down, but at least yeah, the attack is stopped. I'm making some threats, I have some counterplay. So yeah, this was like the best. But it's difficult. I mean, he's making a tremendous pressure here. So I thought that I could defend maybe with playing g3, you know, stopping this, closing this diagonal, stopping the attack. And then he retreated and attacked my good bishop. I don't see any other choice but to take, because if he takes, then I take here and my pawn is falling, this guy remains weak and so on, so I had to take. He took with this rook, okay, so keeping the pressure still, and I didn't really understand the danger of this e3 move and everything else, so I played b4 here, just wanted to secure my pawns and well, hoping for the best. The best defense here was again f4. So okay, b4, and he played the e3 now. And this e3 move I thought is totally killing me, but in fact it's not. I almost resigned here. I mean, I thought my position was so bad that it's completely hopeless. So yeah, I continued to play, and I did find the best move here. The best move is now f4. And now he just continues challenging my challenging my pawn with g5. So I mean, what to do now? I went after this pawn because you know once this file opens, I mean, he has the check here. He's hitting my rook 3 times. So yeah, I played rook f to e1, going after this pawn. He took the pawn, I took, he took. And now I thought that I practically resigned. I made final blunder. But I thought, okay, I'm lost anyway. So let me first show you what I played. I played queen to g2 here. And I mean, he just blocked the check, and my queen is pinned, and I was gone. I didn't even think a lot about this move because I thought, okay, I'm over. The game is over, let me just play one more move. But in fact, when I turned on the analysis, it's like minus 0.5. So it's far from being over. So the correct continuation here would be just to take a rook, just to take the pawn. And here I saw this, but I was worried about this check, because I was thinking if I take with the rook, if I take with the rook, he'll take with the queen. Then I have to go here, and then he'll just win my queen. So this is what I saw. But I didn't see that, well, I forgot that chess is not checkers. So when he checks, I don't have to take. I can just play king to h2 now. No, this loses the queen. Okay, I could play king to g2. Yeah. And now I'm fine. The position is almost equal here. I mean, he wants, if he wants to check, yeah, I will give queen for 2 rooks. The position is equal. So yeah, so this position was almost equal, and I thought it was completely over, and I just played the first move which came to my mind. I didn't calculate. I was thinking, okay, this is game over, so let's just give one more check. And after this move, I resigned the game. Okay, this is it. I mean, I lost the game. I have 1.5 points. Looking forward to round 5, and well, the tournament continues and it goes on. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, leave the comment below, and I will see you soon with more chess. Cheers.